I had been at Covenant Church for about seven or more years and had wonderful time with the people there, they for me and I think I for them. But at some point, I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. I was giving up everything I had. I would leave my family at the drop of a hat to go take care of somebody somewhere in Hagerstown. I would drive to Baltimore if I had to. I just did everything that could be done in the church. People loved it. Of course they loved it. My family didn't love it. It was very, very difficult for them to see me often enough. And I really should have done something about it earlier. But at one point, it was time to stop. I was doing some work in painting, and I thought I could do that. And eventually I did. I left the church then. But when I left the church, something happened in me that I had to take into account. And here it is. I always thought I was not quite right for the thing. When I came from Pittsburgh Theological Seminary to Hagerstown, to Covenant Church, I had to get up on the first Sunday and do a service. And I had no idea exactly what to do, but I wanted to do something good so they would like what I was doing for the following time, as long as it would work. I did the thing I did, and it was okay. But I did not bring out anything in myself that they would ever know. That is to say, I was scared. I wasn't sure I could do it. And so I stood up there and I did the best I could do. I made it work the way it should be. But it took a lot of time to do it. And it took a lot of difficulty to put it all together. But when it was done, interestingly, people said good things to me. And the following week, I did another service, and I felt a little better. If I rose up small the first time, the second time I rose up a little more. And they made me feel good. They made me feel like I was doing the right thing. So the following week, I went up a little more. And the more they looked at me and shook their heads and said yes, and became a part of it, I began to love it. I began to love the fact that they like what I'm doing and I'm liking what they're doing. It worked out very, very well. It made me grow up a little bit. I grew up more than I did because, you see, back when I was in seminary, I wanted to go to some dumpy little place. I thought I believed a dumpy little place. That's where I worked all my life, dumpy stuff. I wrote a letter to some people over in, I don't know, somewhere in Orange County or something, and they wrote back and said, nah, we don't want you. Okay, so I went to this place down here then, in Hagerstown. And what happened was, I grew up. I would go on a Sunday morning and do the best I could do. Every week, I would take care of people as well as I could. All of it worked, all of it worked, all of it worked, till the point where these loving people in that room, every one of them, looked at me and gave me something good to think about. You're good at this. Really? Yes, you are good. Keep doing it. Do it better. Do a wonderful job. These people took wonderful care of me, and they grew me up into a full-fledged, halfway good human being. And I loved it. I really loved it. But then when I left, something happened. I was wondering if I could still live a real life if I don't have those wonderful people around me. They weren't around me. I was not around them. And then something happened that's really weird. I was going to bed that night. Everything was clear in my mind, but then something happened. I saw something like a situation that I couldn't understand. And here it was. I'm walking down one of the streets in Hagerstown in my dream. I'm walking, and coming to me from the other direction is a little old lady. She was hunched. She had a hat on. She had an umbrella, and she walked. And when she got to me, she stopped. And she said, "Young man." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Are you Ben Jones?" And I said, "Why, I used to, but I don't anymore. I'm not him anymore. I retired." She looked at me and said, "You're crazy." And she went somewhere else. But that's what happened. I was given sort of a new deal with the people of that church. And when I left, I didn't know what to do with it. The old lady was trying to get me to tell her that I was going to keep on doing the same thing. I didn't. very difficult. In kind of a way funny what she did, because it was in a place where I needed to hear it. Things did come back. I did come back to who I was, no matter what I did, not just church, but other things as well.